Well, my friends, you know what they say, all good things must come to an end, and today we mark the end of what's been a fantastic journey and adventure together. We turn a new page and start a new chapter. It is time to say goodbye, and I know some of you are going to be sad, but we got to say goodbye to our storage platform over here. That's right, I'm messing with you. We're finally going to move on from this bit right here, and I've been so excited to do this for a while. I've had ideas buzzing around in my head, and in between episodes, I've spent hours in a creative world figuring out how our storage system is going to work and the building that we're going to build around it. And it is going to be a mega project, one of the biggest ones we have done so far in this area. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. By elephant, I mean piece of glass that's down here on the ground, okay? What's going on up there? I see something up in the sky, and it appears to be dispensing free glass to me. Right? Do you remember this prank from Efo before? Where's our glass chest? He did it with this shade of glass last time, and now he's picked a slightly different one because he knows that I used the dark UI. And I found another one of these earlier while I was going through all of these shulker boxes, which I've kind of deliberately left unorganized for a while because I know that we're going to move all of this stuff and reorganize it into a new storage area, which we'll talk about today. I've also got this over here going on, right? A great friend of yours has signed you up to Shady Ease. I remember signing up Cub Fan, yes, to the gardening service. I hope you enjoyed these handsome flowers. P.S. Some of your bee buddies seem to have moved in to pollinate them, I hear, but I do not see. So there might be some bees in the area. And yes, they're wither roses. So thank you, Efo. I appreciate this work of art right here. So I have scoured this area for a location to build in, and I feel like there might be 3 or 4 towers that are going to go in here for various projects, and then we'll actually be kind of concluding the tower aspect of this whole base. And it was quite difficult to find a spot for what I want to build next, which will actually be just sort of behind me in that area, because it's going to be so massive. We're going to build a tower that's just kind of ginormous. It bulges all over the place because inside of it we're going to have a big old storage area. And in these shulker boxes are pretty much everything we need to build this. And it is no joke, I've spent an enormous amount of time preparing all of these materials, 4 shulker boxes of white concrete. These materials here, those materials there. Yeah, we are well and truly prepared to do a mega build, but I'm not really sure if I can do it all in one episode, so we're just going to take things as they come. And I'm actually going to start off by not even building the tower itself and go straight into the storage area that will be in the very heart of it. So step number 1, that looks like it makes no sense whatsoever. We've got this ring of glowstone. And stage 2 is to cover the glowstone in honey blocks and then surround the honey with some yellow terracotta. Stage 3 is to build the platform that we walk around on. So this is white concrete with some white stained glass above it. And stage 5 is to put in these color-coded, what I'm calling storage frames. So this is where we'll interface with all of our stored items. And step 6 is to simply give this thing a roof. So now, my friends, we shall take a slight detour, as in one of the previous episodes I talked about placing lots of leaves on the floor of the jungle to stop mob spawning, and many of you started to speculate how many leaves in total. And then some of you are also talking about Iskau, who's been placing a lot of leaves down as well. So here in my statistics you can see that we've used 9,000 of these. I've actually harvested a fair few more, so I reached out to Iskau and he was around 11,000, so that's kind of interesting. So then I started to think about another block I've mined a lot of, and that is the jungle log. 10,000 of these have been mined, and so I reached out to Ren and asked him how many blocks he had mined, and he'd done about 5,700 for his bigger log shop, but now of course he's blowing them all up with TNT. Anyway, I thought it might be a fun thing to do, like statistical comparisons between hermits based on things that they're doing. So if you've got any questions, pop one down below, and maybe each episode will grab like an interesting comparison. But anyway, this leads us on to all of those logs that I've chopped down, because now we're actually going to use them to craft the storage for our storage area, and you might be a little bit surprised, as I'm not going to go with chests, I'm going to be going with barrels. So how many stacks of logs does it take to make 800 barrels. We got 800 of them right here for our storage area. I was a little surprised. It's only about 11 stacks. So that worked out pretty well. Now what we're going to do is go put these barrels in place in our storage system. And there we go. It's got a nice atmosphere to it. Once this thing is finished, the lighting in here will be really great. It's just kind of the right level to add some mood. But anyway, let's talk about redstone, okay? Usually, these storage systems that we build are automated with all kinds of redstone contraptions, but my friends, not this season. So this accumulation of disorganized shulker boxes kind of goes against the point I'm about to make, but before I let these build up here, I've actually been really organized this season. We're keeping all of my items in order inside the ender chest, and then whenever I finish a project, sorting them out and putting them into these chests over here. So as time goes by, I kind of reflexively learn the locations of these things, right? I've got my stone and cobble over here. If I want to go over for my heads, they're in this chest and that one up there. And now what I want to do is take this to the next level with the visual representation of what's inside of these barrels we've placed down using these heads. And this was an idea that I saw over on Iscal's base and in his videos to use these miniature blocks as an indicator to what's inside. Now this project isn't going to be finished in a day. We've got lots of miniature blockheads to collect, and we've also got to figure out the layout, and that's something that's just going to evolve over time. I'm going to be moving things around as I figure out where I want them to be, and there's also a few other challenges as well, like we might start to fill up some of these barrels full of items and then maybe want multiple miniature blocks of the same type, or maybe just leave the space open. I'm really not sure what's going to work best, but here's another idea. We can always put shulker boxes with more of these materials inside the barrels, and so I think this is going to be sufficient. There is enough of them. Yes, we could have put like double chests in for more storage, but I felt like this looked better, so I decided to go ahead with that. And where we don't have enough miniature blocks as of yet, I've creatively decided to use mob heads as they represent some of the blocks that we're actually collecting. And even other items as well need to be represented. So string is represented by the spider, of course. And over here I've got an iron golem where I'm going to put my iron blocks, but eventually we might actually get our hands on one of them, so then I'll be replacing this and putting it somewhere else. But the idea is that over time, I'm going to end up building a mental map of the storage area, and these things are going to be visual cues to help me remember where everything is. So as I start to clear out this area, I'm thinking about the castle that's behind me. You see, I've been collecting up some mementos that have just been left in chests. These are from our belts from the button, which reminds me I should probably change my skin. But yes, we've got a few things from here and there that I would like to create a place for them to sort of exist and for us to go to check out from time to time. And I think that place is going to be the castle that we built over here. Remember, this was designed by Pearlescent Moon, and what I've been doing is just adapting a design with a few more materials. So if you look over my shoulder, you're going to see some brown mushroom blocks, some stripped logs, and that just brings a little bit more colour to this whole thing, as well as probably my favourite material in all of this, which is what I'm calling the marble right here. This is actually from the stem of a mushroom, and that texture looks gorgeous. I've used it around the bottom as like a foundation. Now there is one thing we've got to change straight away, and that is just this bit here. I don't actually think that texture works. I'm going to change it back to sandstone. We're going to make some final modifications, and then we can turn our attention to the inside here and start to build out some space to store our mementos. So I don't have a vision or a master plan here, really. I've just kind of gone in there and started to try and create spaces and shapes and bring the room together. And so far, it's come together real nice, actually. There's still a long way to go with decoration. I don't want to have sandstone on the floor, for example. But over here, we kind of got a room developing where I can take some of the books that I've been given throughout the season and just drop them off on these lecterns. Another way that I can share some of our mementos is just by having item frames on the walls like this, and we're going to take advantage of armor stands and create some shelves in little areas like so. As you can see here though, we've got a staircase leading up to the second floor, and this is where I'm struggling to carve out the space a little bit at the moment, but we'll figure it all out. As you can see, I've got a staircase that goes up into this space, so we've got some room here, and then it will go up to a second floor, and that'll probably be the most of the space that we exploit. So what was all that about? Well, I thought it'd be really cool to not only place down these concrete blocks we got from the button, but to then put my skin change heads on top of them. And unfortunately, it seems like these will change based on what skin I have. And I currently have the blue one, and all the green ones we made are now red. So I asked Corrales to come over here and kill me, but then I remembered I can kind of do that myself. The only problem is you need to shoot a short shot like that to hit yourself. If you do a big one, the chances of it not landing on you, they grow. I guess I could try and see it when it comes down. Oh, I missed. These heads change to blue and then they change back to red again. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that a wandering trader just spawned inside of this room a second ago, and look at us. Matching outfits, looking gorgeous over here. The game of the bees and the belts is over, and so I have returned to my usual Xisuma skin. And over here in the chest, the heads are still red, so there might be hope for this idea yet. But turning our attention back to the interiors here, I'm kind of realizing this ain't all going to get done in one episode, right? It takes time to get the right kind of inspiration and ideas together. And speaking of which, we have something fantastic over here, the Wither Memorial. Now, I think this could use with some tweaking, but it kind of looks like the Wither, right? If you remember, we put on a resource pack to make it the Wither boss. And so that's a little memorial to that event. Then going up here into this room, it's taken me forever just to kind of put in the right blocks and get something that I'm happy with. And I might still change the ceiling here. So I think this is going to be something that I just tend to in live streams and occasionally show you how things are coming along. Look at this, it's now blue. It went from red to blue when I'm wearing my normal skin. So I don't think there's much hope for these things. Anyway, I just wanted to say the last of this area has kind of been figured out. This last bit was actually really quite easy, just a case of tidying up the walls and putting everything together. This bit here needs a roof. And how this whole thing comes together, it's just going to be an ongoing process. I'm really not sure how to put this all together. I'm sort of just going around and trying different things, right? I put in our little Grumbot messages over here. When we got our book from Wells, we had 2 of these flowers there as well, so I thought I'd add it in like this. And I think I'll just sort of come over here on live streams and take suggestions from chat and figure out details together, because I feel like a lot of the stuff doesn't really tell a story. I'm just putting things together, and maybe we can kind of work on that in these streams. Anyway, down here you'll see that there are now banners up. We've got our illegal elytra. We've got the tag on the wall next to the heads of the hermits that we had slain, and have been playing around with these honeypot banners as well, and all sorts of other details, and this is as far as I've got for now. So turning my attention to the outside of this area, you'll have to excuse these chest monsters that have popped up. One of the things we need to do is create a path from this castle over to the jungle. And where that path is going to go, I'm not entirely sure right now, but I feel like we need some tidy up of the border between these biomes. They're probably like the worst to transition through, and there are just features like this lump of land right here that just don't really make too much sense. And this lake over here is actually a good example, so I'm sort of showing you what it was like before, and I just went around and tidied up some of the grass to make it all look a lot cleaner. So my plan for transition here is to remove the grass and trees you see before me on this side of the ravine. Let's turn it all into sand. And then over on this side, I'm probably going to push the sand towards the jungle so that it comes right up against the trees. And that means taking this big lump of land here and turning it into sand. I think that's the best way to move forward here. So this time, let's get a feel for it the other way around. What you're looking at here is how we first found the jungle. And now we're transitioning to what it looks like now. As you can see, quite a bit of transformation taking place on this border. So we did a good job here with the transition, but ultimately there is a little bit of a problem that the transition itself is kind of obvious, because there isn't that much cactus and dead bushes as there is in the area that we've transformed. And also a lot of the cactuses over here are 1 high because they're freshly placed down, and it'll take a bit of time for them to grow to the regular height. So once they've done that, I'll probably sweep back past here, knock out a few bits of cactus, and then it will probably look really natural. We never did check out what was above our old storage area, you know, the one that we're clearing out. It's this thing right here, and landing on it, will be tricky, but we've done it. Look at that, congratulations on your free glass. And it's powered randomly by the growth of cactus. Well, Efo, Well played, my friend. I also heard the buzzing of bees down here, and when I was tidying up, I noticed there was actually a beehive. I don't know if any of the bees got out, but I'm guessing Etho placed this as well, right? I can actually literally hear buzzing right now, except no sign of bees. No sign of bees at all. I could have swore I heard buzzing again, but yeah, there's nowhere for it to be, right? Nowhere to be. That was an accidental pun. In fact, when you're dressed up as a bee, you know, the bee puns, they come in pretty quickly. They come in faster than you know. Anyway, Shady Ease over here is the reason that we have been visited and had flowers dropped off at us. Of course, we signed someone else up for the gardening service, and someone signed us up. And there goes Etho, just going past. I'm convinced if we stick it out of this place, something good will come of these subscription services. Here's the thing though, it costs diamond blocks to unsubscribe. I didn't even sign myself up for this gardening. I'm going to hold on to my diamonds though, and I'm actually going to sign myself up for the next service, which in no way can surely backfire, right? So this is a pest relocation service. And as it goes, I am actually the first person to sign up. Oh, except for example, of course. And passing through the Nether, I've noticed this thing a bunch of times, and I keep meaning to come over here and read this book. It is Pyrotechnics 1 week flash sale. So basically, it's 1 diamond block to get a full shulker box worth of firework rockets. And you know what? Just have Keralis as a neighbour. He flew by yesterday and just dropped this off for me. No questions asked. So I kind of don't need this, but you can also win some fireworks as well, like a fireworks show. 1,000 colourful, exploding, beautiful pyrotechnic rockets, and that sounds like something I'd love to have go off in the jungle base. So, am I supposed to like rename this so Tango knows that I put my name in here? It just says contact Tango if you win, so I chuck that in there, and I get the box. Yeah, I had a feeling this might be a thing, but I don't think we won the fireworks show. And could I roll the dice again? Just throw away another diamond block? No, I think I'll leave it for another hermit then. Wait a minute, these are not grade A rockets. They've only got flight duration 1. I've been ripped off, Tango. These are not grade A rockets. Of course, my friends, I'm just messing about, and I just want to comment on very interesting new shop popping up right here. I like the structure. It's pretty massive. And it's got me thinking about the other shops that I plan on building. Still not quite ready for that. Wanted to check in on what's going on over here though. Now, I don't know if this is my one vote right there, but someone's taken away their support for Doc. I'm pretty sure there was already a block there when we added ours. So yeah, not sure what's going on with that. But look, False is actually tied with Joe right now, and there's Wither Skeletons here. We're not safe apparently. Well, I certainly don't feel safe. My personal glowstone supply has been a little bit on the low side, and I believe we've had some sales in the shopping area. We'll go check up on that in a moment. So I managed to do an overnight session over here at the witch farm. We got lots of redstone for XB, who's going to drop us off a beacon next month. That's going to be awesome. And look at this. Some glowstone I can craft up. Some of this will go towards restocking because we've made a healthy amount of diamonds over here. That's actually our first sale since we traded with Cubfan. And we have someone who's clearly interested in these bone blocks, who sold out an entire chest and then some. That is just amazing. And so me and Keralis have made over 2 stacks today of diamonds. What's crazy is that we're selling vast quantities of stuff here and then not selling them at the discount llamas. Do some of our customers not realize they can buy concrete here as well? It's pretty crazy, but hey, the diamonds are rolling in, and I think now we're really starting to establish our business. So, Keralis has got some diamonds over here to pick up, and we have made ourselves just under 2 stacks today, which is amazing. And now, of course, I've got some restocking to do, and I've actually got a fair bit of it already stocked up in here. But this means I'm going to have to go mining for some gravel and some sand to make up more concrete, and I've been kind of thrown off by the moving of all the items and organising them, and I'm going to show you some more stuff to do that in the next episode. We're wrapping this one up a little earlier than usual, and we're just going to go and stand outside of the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's like a Grumbot Junior. And I don't think this is open or anything yet, although there is a button. I'm going to press it now. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. But that is so cute. And yeah, we're wrapping up the episode here. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like. Thank you as always for your support, and I'll see you soon in another one. Bye bye.